Yo, what's up, everyone? Today, or actually tonight, I'm going to talk about Ethereum staking. What are the different ways you can stake Ethereum and become a proof of stake validator on the Ethereum network and contribute to the Ethereum consensus mechanism and Ethereum security? Basically, there are, in a nutshell, four ways to stake Ethereum, and today I'm going to focus on the first one. And the first one is solo staking. So in solo staking, you deploy your own nodes in the computer that you have at home. And this is the best way to contribute to the network decentralization and security. Then the second way is staking as a service. There are staking as a service providers that will basically manage the node on your behalf, but you still have to deposit the 32 ETH to become a validator, but you control the private keys of that validator. Then, in third place, you have staking pools. And these staking pools, or sometimes also called liquid staking, will allow you to stake any amount of Ethereum. So if you don't have the 32 ETH to do solo staking, you can use a staking pool like Lido or Rocket Pool. And in this case, you can deposit a smaller amount of ETH, like 1 ETH or 0.5 or 5 ETH, whatever you want. And you are also able to unstake anytime you want, or at least it's more liquid. You can sell the token that represents your stake, but I will talk about this in another video. And then the fourth way to stake is by using a centralized exchange. Centralized exchanges like Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, they also offer staking, but this is the least attractive way because it's fully centralizing the proof of stake in one single authority and one single point of failure, not contributing to decentralization. In this video, I want to specifically talk about solo staking, which is the best way to keep the network decentralized and also the best way to maximize your rewards. Okay. So nobody knows exactly how much is going to be the yields for the solo staking, but probably once the merge happens, post-merge in proof of stake, probably it's going to be anything from 5 to 10, maybe up to 15%. But it will all depend on the number of validators on the network, depend on the activity of the network, because the more activity the network has, more fees are paid, and these fees are basically part of the fees burned and the other part are distributed to the validators. So there are many different factors, and that's why at the moment it's a bit hard to say, and it will also not be the exact same yield every day. Of course, if there is a lot of activity on the network on a given day, the yield will be better. But you can see it like a range from 5% to up to maybe 15%. All right, so if you want to become a solo staker, you need to make sure that you have a machine, a computer with the minimum requirements. And the minimum requirements are basically you should have a CPU that is not too old. I would say that probably any computer with a CPU that is not older than 3 or 4 years with a relatively fast CPU should be fine. You need a RAM of minimum 16 gigabytes, ideally 32 gigabytes. Running an Ethereum node requires quite a lot of RAM, of memory from the computer, so you should have at least 16 gigabytes. And finally, in terms of disk storage, you should have an SSD storage, at least 1 terabyte, ideally 2 terabytes, or maybe if you later can bring 2 additional terabytes is the ideal because the blockchain is growing. At the moment, probably running a full node, you will require like 800 gigabytes, so it's close to 1 terabyte. So maybe the ideal is just to have 2 terabytes. And finally, to guarantee that you have 100% uptime, you should have a computer that is fully dedicated to be only the Ethereum validator, okay? So you should not use a computer that you also use to work or to play games, because then maybe you need to restart a computer or things like that. And the Ethereum node is supposed to have 24 hours per day uptime, so you should have a computer that can handle those like 24 hours per day. Now, what kind of computer should you have? So a lot of people are using those mini computers, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you some examples. In theory, you can use a laptop, a spare laptop that you may have. The problem is that laptops are not designed to run 24/7, right? Remember, this computer, if you are running an Ethereum validator, is supposed to be running 24 hours per day over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, how long you want to run the node, right? So laptops are not the ideal computer for that, right? So you should have either the mini PC or a normal desktop computer, a proper desktop computer. Some people are trying to run these on Raspberry Pi, you know, those small Raspberry Pi. In theory, you can do it, but Raspberry Pi, I think it's a little bit weak. Maybe the CPU is too weak, and if for some reason the networks require the nodes to catch up with additional transactions, I'm afraid it may not work well. And finally, you can use a server. If you have already a server in your company or something like that, you can run it on a server, and it's very easy to deploy the full node on the server. And remember, to deploy a full node, you will need two clients, to install two clients, the consensus client and the execution client. You need to install two pieces of software, but it's very, very easy. If you are interested, I can do a demo on YouTube and show you how to install this consensus client and execution client, and how to synchronize them with the network. All right, I want to show you some examples of solo staking nodes. And in this case, I'm going to share with you Superfee's Twitter account. Superfees is a Ethereum community member, and he is one of the leads of itstaker.cc. By the way, if you are interested in staking, solo staking, you should definitely check itstaker YouTube channel. They have very good content and demos on how to deploy nodes. But here, basically, if you follow Superfees, he's super active, and he is a very big enthusiast of deploying nodes at home, right? Solo staking nodes. Actually, if you click the hashtag stake from home, you'll see the setups of many people. These mini PCs, they spend very little electricity, and that's why Ethereum staking is going to consume 99% less electricity. Then we have here another mini PC with connected to a big battery just in case the electricity goes down. What else do we have here? He's living as a nomad, and let's take a look at his setup. It's like it's a proper desktop computer. This is a desktop, an old discarded office PC. Mini computer, mini computer, mini computer. As you see, many people running this on mini computers. I don't know. What's this one? No idea what's this. Another mini computer. This seems to be a Raspberry Pi connected to an SSD external storage. 2 terabytes SSD. What's this? Intel NUC. So this is also a mini computer. Mini, but not so mini, to be honest. 32 gigabytes RAM, 2 terabytes. Like, as I told you, this is really the ideal setup. This is seems to be a laptop. Laptop not ideal, but it does the work. Mini computer, mini computer. As you see, a lot of people doing mini computer. What is this? Another mini computer. Oh, this is an Avado. They basically sell these nodes already. Like, these are kind of mini computers with already pre-installed software. So you just buy the hardware and it's plug and play. You don't need to do anything. Quite interesting. Yeah, so basically, I think this gives you a good idea of the kind of computer that you can use to run a solo staking validator node. And by the way, you can run a node without doing the staking, right? If you don't have the 32 ETH, you still can run a full node. You are contributing to the network resilience, you are contributing to verifying the transactions, just that you are not proposing blocks or validating blocks. But it's still good to run a full node for the network healthiness. Alright, I hope this video was useful. If you like it, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I put a video out every day talking about the coolest technology in the world, crypto, blockchain, and Ethereum. Alright, I'll see you on the next video.